What's going on, guys? It is Joey here.
And this is Adrian. Welcome back to We Talk Weeb Talk, and this is our segment of What If Conversations. We're gonna name this segment our Weeb Talks. Today we're going over what if Nagato gave Naruto the Rinnegan. Now, for a little bit of context, after Naruto beat the brakes off of the Paths of Pain, he obviously went to go see Nagato, and Nagato used his Rene Rebirth to revive everybody. But what if, like, after he died and everything, he still had his Rinnegan? What if he allowed Naruto to get that, to have those eyes, and just to see how powerful he would be? You have anything to say, Joey?
I do have something to say. I honestly think that Naruto would be OP as shit, obviously, for the simple fact that he's already an Uzumaki with a wide chakra reserve. He's a nine-tails Jinchuriki. He knows Toad Sage mode, and he also has multiple jutsus that he has mastered that are very strong.
Not only is he an Uzumaki with already an immense chakra reserve, he has the nine tails inside of him, which is stated to be the most powerful tailed beast of all of them. But to heighten that even more, his Sage mode allows for sensory type to be incredibly powerful and everything. Like he stuck one of um, the chakra receivers in his arm to reverse track Nagato and everything. And just we're gonna get into all the different abilities of the Rinnegan and just go in depth of the techniques that he would be getting or he could possibly be getting.
Yeah, exactly what Adrian said. I want to get on the first point of the revive power of pain, the Rene rebirth. Because if you think about it, the hell thing, the hell guy, whatever you call it, I call him Hell Bopo. But if he had that power, he could have saved Jiraiya, and he could have saved everybody himself.
Yeah, what Joey's talking about is the Naraka path of the Paths of Pain, which is he has the six paths technique. Well, Nagato has the six paths technique, and those six paths include the Diva path, Asura, human, animal, Preta, and Naraka path. The Naraka path of the Renegon summons the god of the underworld, and he basically, as is shown in the show, you can just step into it and step into the mouth of the god of the underworld and go out completely fine, unscathed and everything. It is an incredibly OP ability of the Renegon, and it's technically the weakest out of all six paths. And it would just be such an amazing thing to see Naruto be able to revive Jiraiya. But I mean, we can spew all day with that. But even with that sort of ability, he'd use it like very like lightly, I feel.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. He would definitely use it very lightly, not like other jutsus of the path of the Renegon. The Rene Rebirth, it puts a lot of strain on the person. As you know, as when Nagato used the Rene Rebirth to fully revive everyone in Konoha, he died after. But that's the result of all the other powers he was giving to the Pains and using all of them at full power.
And the next path we're going to go into is the Preta path of the Rinnegan, which is absorbing all ninjutsu and just chakra in general. It is the second least powerful one, but still, it could be used in a plethora of ways, right? Because he would have to make physical contact with somebody to do it, but I mean, it would be super easy for Naruto to just grab a hold of somebody with he could create a bajillion shadow clones, pin them down, and just get them and everything, and it would just be a very, very useful offensive move to have.
I like the fact that you brought up the shadow clones because if you think about it, there's a possibility that the shadow clones can be like the six pains. You don't know for sure because there's not chakra receivers in them, but they're also full of Naruto's chakra. They will have the Renegon, and they will be able to be visually linked through all the shadow clones.
Yeah, and that's a great point to bring up because with the next one, the animal path, which is just a summoning an immense amount of animals. You can do your own research about how many because I can't even count off the top of my head. The animal path of the Renegon is able to summon these pretty much immortal like animals that any user of the Renegon can use for offensively and just to see around because the vision is just connected between all of them. And what we see in the anime is that Nagato is able to see through all of the six paths of pain's eyes to get a wider range of the battlefield and assess his situation and use his abilities any way he can.
Yes, and not even only offense. They're very defensively capable of doing a lot of things. Like there's a big panda, for instance, that I never really even noticed in the anime until I'd done my research. And he literally can block and defend through any jutsu. And it's very impressive. There's a big beaked bird that they could be aerial support where you could just have them looking around as a drone. It's a lot of things you could do with these, and if Naruto had these abilities, I just feel like this whole show would have took a different turn for good and bad.
Yeah, it's definitely exactly what it is. Just like a what if sort of scenario. Like it could have gone a plethora of ways, but we didn't write it. But getting into the next path of pain, the human path, which is the one where you are able to, if you make physical contact with someone, you can rip their souls out of their body, killing them instantly. And like we talked about before, Naruto can use the shadow clones to pin the guy down, and just rip his soul out. And with that as well, you gain all their memories to extract intel. So the Rinnegan has a lot of sensory type abilities to it, which makes a lot of sense, considering that you also are able to see chakra and transmit just a whole bunch of different things with it. And it's it's absolutely insane the level of detail that the Renegon's lore has behind it. It's barely even been touched, honestly, with the Boruto series because Sasuke is the only real like human being to have the Renegon. Everyone else is just gods, and he uses his Renegon so lightly. He doesn't even touch the brim of what he could actually do with it, which is very upsetting to be honest because I'd love to see Sasuke use it more in the show, but
I like the fact where you said that Naruto be able to pin them down and take their souls. I'm not completely sure, but wouldn't that mean that if in the war arc to seal the like are the reanimated shinobis if they have their souls because they let their souls loose in the ending of the war arc for the ones that reanimated. So if Naruto had this power, I honestly think that he could have just instead of sealing them, he could have did the soul super sucker jutsu and took all their souls out and released them. And I feel like that would have caused a lot of better damage than them fighting and fighting to seal them.
it's also a point to bring up that Naruto's morality wouldn't allow him to kill people, and obviously these abilities are insanely overpowered just to be used like regularly, and I feel like he would have a lot of personal conflict with removing people's souls or just absorbing people's chakra. Because I mean, in the show, it's stated if you lose all your chakra, you pretty much die or like you overuse it or whatever. But anyways, getting to the Asura path, which I think is personally the flashiest one because we see the Asura path just make a plethora of weapons for itself. Missiles, laser beams, rocket fists, just anything you can pretty much just think of. And it's just used so well that I feel like the Asura path is more of like the tactician of each one of the six paths because he just has a lot more. I mean, he just has the most versatile of weapons.
Yeah, and like in the anime, the pain that has that power, he's also able to make multiple arms. He's able to make multiple heads, where that adds more visual jutsu or visual links to the main pain and things of that nature. And I honestly think that would have been amazing in this anime. I feel like if Naruto had that power, same thing with the other ones, this whole show would have took a turn and you really wouldn't need Sasuke in the war arc. Sasuke could have just did his side quest like like Orochimaru did, for instance. Orochimaru helped in different parts of the battle where Sasuke could have been fighting the main battle, and Sasuke probably wouldn't have got any of the powers from the from the six paths. Six paths would have only talked to Naruto and figured out that maybe he should be the one with both the yin and yang power.
Ooh, yeah, getting into the Yin Yang release, I wonder if his already awoken Renegon at this point would have adapted into the Tomoe Renegon that Sasuke ends up getting with his side of chakra from the Sage of Six Paths. It's a very interesting conversation to have because I mean that just increases it a lot more. But I don't know. I can't remember if the reason why he has all those Tomoe around his Sharingan is because he merged it with his Eternal MS. But I mean, it's definitely worth a conversation. But getting to the last and the most powerful of the paths is the Diva path. This is the main one Naruto fights at the end, like when he goes into his Nine Tails transformation. It's mainly about like telekinesis and everything because we see him obviously producing those black orbs to suck up land mass to create a Chibaku Tensei. He most likely uses the abilities to lift Hinata off the ground, slam her down, and just a whole bunch of different ways of using that sort of telekinesis power. And it's just there's a lot of different things you can do with that because obviously you can push people away, or you can do what the Diva Path did was just destroy an entire village. The entirety of the Leaf Village was just annihilated by one man, one technique, just put up to the max. But I will say that one technique really did a number on Nagato's health because Nagato was extremely weak just by controlling all the six pains regularly and using that ability really set him back. And even like we were saying, like that Rene Rebirth is just pretty much like an insta kill. He was like that last line of it was the last act of good that Nagato did. So it puts a lot of strain on the user.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one. And just, I feel like this would have inevitably ended up Naruto dying in the end because I feel like if he had the Rinnegan, he wouldn't be giving all the great nations his power. I don't think that he would have gave them the nine shells chakra throughout the battle to help him. He would have tried to do it all on his own. I feel like if Naruto had the Rinnegan, he would have tried to shoulder and hold all the hatred and all the pressure from the battle on himself and try to protect everybody, but inevitably it doesn't work and most of the Shinobi Alliance will die or the Shinobi Alliance wouldn't even have been made. But if it did, most of them would die and then he would use that last Rene rebirth and revive everyone and inevitably die.
Yeah, it's just Naruto's character is just so his character is just written to be that I don't want to say self-righteous, but definitely in seek of more power to protect his friends. And it's it's just one of those things where he would use it more defensively, but not just for himself, but for everyone else. And getting into the minute little abilities of the Renegon that specific people have gotten. Like Madara got those Limbo clones. Started off when he had just the one Renegon, he had two of them. But when he had both of them, he got like four. And Sasuke's unique ability was his teleportation, which he obviously overuses. And it's a very nice conversation to have just to see if Naruto had that, it would pretty much put his speed and everything completely out of the question. He could teleport himself out of the way. He could teleport his enemies into sticky situations that they put him in, like when Sasuke transported Momoshiki into his own chains. Like that is just a complete Uno reverse on anything that they try and do. And like the Renegon is just an insanely overpowered dojutsu, but I mean it's really awesome to just go in depth and detail about all the broken abilities that any user of the Rinnegan can get.
Yeah, and just going on to other powers that Naruto already possesses before he meets Nagato. Like, he doesn't have his KCM yet. He doesn't have any of that, but he will soon get that. But before that, he has the Sage mode from Toads. He has the Sage Toad mode, where I feel like it will give his powers a lot more durability and power. So I feel like having the Rinnegan, all that Sage mode would do is just make every single Rinnegan power 10 times stronger.
And not even that, Naruto's taijutsu is amplified heavily with his Sage mode and everything. So it it's it's hard to talk about because it's just so hard to describe how broken these abilities are. And going to his KCM modes, I feel like he would still try and befriend Kurama, but I think Kurama's reaction to seeing Naruto get those eyes, especially them being Madara's eyes, because I mean Madara was the one who controlled the Nine Tails originally when he fought Hashirama, and I feel like that would be a even bigger curve to have Kurama see those eyes again, not specifically like the Rinnegan, but just Madara's eyes. Because I mean, he would know, he'd probably know that Nagato got them from Madara. Because I mean, he could feel the intensity of them and everything. And I honestly don't think that it would be as easy as it would have been originally in the series, but it would be much easier for Naruto to control him because, as we've seen time and time again, the Rinnegan and the Sharingan in general, the dojutsu of the Uchiha clan, is able to control tail beasts pretty much instantly. Like, obviously, we talked about Madara being able to control the Nine Tails, but even more, Sasuke controlling all nine-tailed beasts at once. And Obito as well, when he first attacked the village on Naruto's birthday. That is just it's really the Sharingan in general, all the dojutsus of the Uchiha are just insanely just intricate in all the ways that it really could be, and it's written so well, and the lore for it is just it's immense. It really is. It's hard to grasp all of the little minute details, but
Alright, that's all we have for the what if Nagato gave Naruto the Rinnegan. If y'all like this video and want to see more videos like that, please comment down below.
yeah, we love doing these little videos to show our actual knowledge of the show, and it gives us a lot more fluidity of making this content, and it's super duper fun to do our own research, look at a whole bunch of things. I've read the data books for this specific video to get all these little details. I promise you, Joey didn't even know all the names of each paths of the pain. He didn't know the names of specific techniques I named or whatever. So I mean, it's really fun for us as the creators of the content to be able to put this out there for y'all.
Yeah, like Adrian said, I honestly didn't know any of the Pain's powers. I knew gist of them from watching the anime, but I never did my research. In doing my research with him, it really helped me understand, and it got me more intrigued in the show than I'd ever have been. But without further ado, this has been We Talk Weep Talk with Joey
and Adrian.
Please like and subscribe, turn on those post notifications, like the video up, and show your mom, show your grandpa, show your grandma, show your dog. Make a channel for your cat if you have to, even if you have a goldfish. We love making these videos, and we hope that you love watching them more than we do. This has been Joey and Adrian. See y'all guys next time.